I'm gonna show you in this class the abort controller API. It's widely used to abort operations in async functions such as promises, streams, callbacks, and so on. The project I'm gonna show you in the next class will approach a nice use case, so you learn in practice where and how to use it. In this class, I'll show you how the API works by a simple example, and then we go deeper on the next class, okay? So let's go to the demo. All right, here we go again. I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna call 3 abort controller, and I'm gonna create a file with the same name, .mjs. Nice. Just check your Node.js version. So I'm gonna use the Node LTS. Okay, always LTS to make sure everything is working. Okay, so I'm gonna copy a lot of code from the previous classes. So this one from the async iterators API. I have here the pipeline, the set timeout, the readable. I'm gonna remove the transform, and I'm gonna keep just the writable, okay? So transform and duplex, we don't need anymore. All right, just run node on the file to check if it's working. Okay, we have the writable there. I will just write to string to make sure everything is still working. Perfect. So right now I'm gonna remove this log because I don't need anymore. And instead of using set timeout, I'm gonna use the set interval. And then I'm gonna loop through it. So const interval of set interval every 200 seconds, okay? And then I'm gonna yield a buffer from maybe just a message with a time. Tick new date to isostring. Okay, if you run again, we can see everything working, right? Nice. Well, what I'm gonna do now, I want to use the abort controller. The abort controller will help us to actually stop the whole process. So I'm gonna not import, just instantiate, because it's a global object from the ECMAScript. So you can still use this in the browser as well. Okay, so here our pipeline will accept the signal. So the signal in this case will be the abort controller dot signal. Okay, nice. If you run this code, nothing different will happen. But if you want to cancel the operation, we can use the set timeout. This is the global one, not the promised version. And I'm gonna use, maybe after half a second, I'm gonna say that I will abort this operation. Well, if you run this code, we notice that nothing has been canceled, right? Well, we have two options here. We can either get the abort controller that the pipeline passed through every function. So I can have here the abort controller and check if the signal was aborted. So if so, we're gonna use break. So if I run this, we can see that receives an error here that it was aborted, okay? Well, we can do this, or we can actually transform this into actually readable stream from the Node.js side. So we can basically comment this line. I will import from Node the stream here, and I will grab the readable. So I will convert this one to a readable stream, which is a classic Node.js string. I won't use the abort controller in this case, so I will keep this one here, just so you know that we could have used. So here the abort controller goes on the param, okay? So now notice the difference. So I'm gonna run readable from, yeah, because they're both there, right? So let's run, and then after half a second, we didn't need to put the if there. So it's always better to parse to a readable string because we can get all the state and all the functions. So from now on, we always parse our readable strings, even though that we are using async iterators here, but it's a good practice to parse to a readable string. Nice. So we can use the abort here. Well, we can actually put a try cat here and check. We can handle these errors and we can check the code. Error.code. So the code is abort error. So I will copy this one and I will gracefully check this error. So if the code is not the abort error, I'm gonna just throw the same thing, okay? Otherwise, I know that it has been canceled. Nice. So what if I want to actually add some event and prevent something when it's aborted? We can have here on the abort control signal some events. So we can actually use on abort, or we can use add the event listener, and so on. So I'm gonna use the on abort, and I will put a function here. It will just console.log on abort. Hey, I was triggered. Okay, so if you want to notice something, or if you want to propagate the error, so you can see here. I'm not sure if it will propagate the error in this case. Let's comment and check it out. Yeah, the error is still there, but before throwing the error, we could see the message here, okay? I remember in this API, we actually, on the signal side, we can set here throw if aborted. Let me check if it will make any change. No, it doesn't. Maybe false. Yeah. All right. So in this case, we keep the try cat, and now you know how to abort an operation. Okay. So even though we can put some if here, if you don't need to put an if, just parse to a readable from. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. In the next class, we're gonna go further and create the final project of this module. All right. So I'm Eric Wendell, and I'll see you in the next video.